Yo! Today, I'm going to be showing you the actual secrets on how to make your drums hit harder and just sound better in general. Stop getting that bad mix. I've worked with artists such as HOODTRAP, Abracadabra, Busy Banks, and many more, whilst also gaining over 12,000 followers and 4 million views on TikTok in the space of 40 days. But my drums must be sounding hard. I'm going to go through some different master chains, how to mix 808s, and different ways of mixing different 808s, to use a kick and an 808 without them clashing, to get sharp hi-hats with cold patterns, and just other tips in general to make your drums sound nasty. But of course, we're gonna have to start at the very beginning, because what would hard-hitting drums be without a melody? So we're gonna have to make a melody first. Strap in, get the notebook out. Actually, even better, like this video so you can come back to it when you're cooking up next, and then use all these techniques in your next cook-up. Also subscribe, nearly at 26k. Alright, let's get into it. And to start the melody off, we're just gonna go into FL keys and try to get down some sort of chord progression. And we're gonna start off in C sharp minor, probably one of my favorite scales. Add like the 9th chord. That's hard. Let's put this down. Now, obviously, I'm just trying to get some sort of chord progression down on this. Not really too worried about how it's sounding right now, because by the end of the melody, I think I'm going to reverse it. And now what we're going to do is basically just copy this chord progression into different sounds. So we've got Analog Labs loaded up. It's kind of like a vintagey pluck synth key kind of. I'm going to copy that chord progression in here. It's already sounding a little bit retro, but we're going to throw on a bit of vintage chorus onto it as well. And also going to throw a little bit of delay onto it. And listen, like I said, wait until the end of the melody because it's not going to sound like this. Sticking in Analog Labs. Once again, just copy and pasting the sound. And just for good measures, taking this kind of pad. Now, next I'm going to show you a little trick on how you can kind of make unique sounding melodies. So we're taking this like lo-fi key, and we're going to play these chords here. We're going to take a preset from Portal that sounds like this, and we're going to automate this preset. Alright, I kind of like how this is coming out. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to consolidate just this pattern on its own. But this is where we're going to do a bit of magic to this, because it's not exactly sounding very good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up kind of like each half bar. We're going to leave this now. I'm just going to trust the process because, like I said, I'm going to reverse this melody at the end. I know this video is about hard-hitting drums. We will get to that. Don't worry. I'm just showing a little bit of melody sauce right now, too. I don't think I've actually ever used this plugin before. But what we could do is you can come down here into channel volume, and this is where you can automate the volume. So I kind of want this volume to fade out. You can just have it like this. I'm going to render this. Now what we can do is you can move these down here, make them unique, and then also reverse it. So it's coming back in. I feel like this melody is missing that small bit of low end. I feel like there's no real low end to it yet. I'm going to come into Noir and Contact. Take the dark preset. It's mad what a bit of low end can do to make a melody sound so much better. Right, so this is going to be our melody, but like I said, I do want to reverse this melody. So we're actually going to copy this over, make it 16. A quick way to reverse your melody is highlight everything, press Control, Alt, and C. And that will just consolidate everything into one. So once I finish a melody, there's two things I like to do. I like to reverse it, and I like to re-pitch it. So we're going to pitch it down maybe 2, which will put us in B minor. And then we're going to click reverse. Ooh, that little low end of piano. What I can do is I can chop this melody again. So here's actually a bit of chopping sauce. So if you come up here and select this tool up here, it's actually called Slip, which is actually kind of crazy. You click the Slip tool and you can just drag your sample. So as you can see, like as I'm dragging, my sample is moving. I can kind of like chop this up a little bit. Melody's clicking, so we're going to put it on generic. I just found this little violin phrase on Splice. So, the reason that you've all come to this video is for hard-hitting drums. So I feel like the first thing that we should start at is the master. Everyone kind of does things differently with their master, but the one main thing that you need when making trap beats is to use some sort of soft clipper. Now I'm going to give 3 suggestions. The first one, being the most obvious one, pretty soft clipper. It's the default soft clipper that comes with FL, and this is what I actually use. I don't use any external clippers. I use this one. Now I'll give 2 other soft clippers that you can use. The free version being Free Clip. This is actually a pretty nice soft clipper. You get a nice bit of control. There's a nice UI on it. You can kind of see what's going on. And then another one that's a paid soft clipper, I don't personally have it, is the T-Rax soft clipper. A lot of producers swear by it and say that it sounds a lot better. Now I'm going to touch on this slight thing that I put on my master also, which is Ozone 10 Imager. Now this basically just shapes the entire beat. If you don't know how to use Ozone Imager, I would probably look up a tutorial on it. These are basically frequency bands, and then you can control the mono and stereo field down here. And that's basically it for your master. Honestly, all you need is a soft clipper. We're going to need the bounce of the beat first. So let's start with the hats. All I'm going to do for the hats is start off with a 2-step. And then next, I'm going to put in my snare. For your snare, you want to make sure that your snare is kind of loud in the mix. Your snare and your hi-hats kind of go hand in hand. You kind of want your rolls, your hi-hat pattern to kind of bounce around your snare. Also, pauses is also pretty important in the bounce. Changing pitch also helps a lot. I'm gonna paste that back over. Alright, now it's time to talk about the 808. So I have one of my 808s from my HOODTRAP drum kit, and we have a pattern laid down, but I have this default. I haven't changed the 808 in any shape or form, and this is how it sounds. See, it's not really punching through. It's not sounding good. So, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to come in here to the pre-computed effects, and this is where I'm just going to boost this thing. You can tell by the image of how much I can boost it. I'm probably going to boost this to maybe like 5%, and I'm also going to come over here to the EQ, and I'm going to boost the EQ maybe like 25-ish. It's already sounding a little bit nicer, but I feel like it can come up a little bit more. So I'm going to highlight everything, and we're going to bring up the velocity. Maybe like 2 clicks. Next, we can try this with a Zay 808. So if I just copy and paste the pattern in. What I like to do is I like to come to the channel volume. I like to turn this to around like 89. So we're going to go to the frequency again. Put that up 20%. Boost it 1%. And I might even just turn this channel velocity up maybe 2 clicks. These are the basic ways of how to basically make your 808s hit harder. You basically just got to turn them up. You're going to use the channel volume, you want to use channel velocity, you want to use the boost knob and the EQ knob, and you just literally got to keep testing it to see what sounds the best. You could just use my go-to 808 that's in my HOODTRAP drum kit, and as you can see, it's here on screen. It's not boosted, it's not EQ'd, the channel volume is still default. Everything here, all the velocity is still default. Everything on this is default, it's on here. The only thing that I like to do is I like to make sure that my spins 808 is in mono here. And then listen to how this sounds. That kind of goes to show that hard-hitting drums can come down to high-quality samples. This is a high-quality 808. Next, I'm going to show you how to use 808s and kicks together, because a lot of people seem to have problems with this. Now, personally, I feel like in trap beats in 2024, nobody's really using kicks. I mean, it's all about these hard knocking spins 808s that don't really require a kick. If you're one of them people that likes to use an 808 and a kick alongside it, and you're struggling with the clashing of frequencies and things like that, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. So we are taking my HOODTRAP 808. As you can see and hear, it's a bit more of a longer 808. It's not a punchy 808. The first thing I like to add to this is actually fruity bass boost. Now, this is an 808 that you can technically like use a kick with. I'm just going to take the rack kick from my HOODTRAP drum kit. Like I said, all the drums from this video from my HOODTRAP drum kit. If you're looking for high quality drum samples and the sounds of 2024, then I would definitely cop this drum kit. So this is going to be our kick on default with the 808. Can't really hear it, I'm not going to lie. First things first, I'm literally just going to put channel volume to 100% on the kick. Still again, not really punching through. What I like to do is I like to pitch my kick down. It's a little bit more punchy, slightly bit more muddy. But we are coming to the mixer chain and we are putting it fully on mono, and we're also going to crank that all the way up. Okay, now it's starting to punch through a little bit more. Next, what I like to do is I like to take out all the high end out of the kick, and also, what are we at here? We're at 26 hertz. And this is my kick here, and this is my 808. So what I'm gonna do is, while my kick channel is selected, I'm gonna come over to my 808, right click and click sidechain to this track. Next, we're putting the track spacer onto the 808 mix. Then once you open up track spacer, you wanna come into settings, processing, and then enable sidechaining to your kick. Then I like to turn down the release, turn down the attack, and now so now whenever your kick plays, it's ducking the 808 frequency. You can see here on screen, that's your kick and that's your 808 going underneath. Obviously you can adjust it. You never want that at like 100%. I was just showing it for maximum effect. This is by Waves. It's a very, very effective plugin. I use this for a lot of things. If you're like mixing vocals with melodies, you can sidechain like the vocals to the melodies in case there's any like high-ended clashing. You can control the low cut, the high cut. Now, one last little bit of sauce that maybe people don't know about, maybe everyone does know about. Bro, layering open hats on your 808s makes that shit sound 10 times harder. Let me just mute these open hats for a second. So it sounds like this. And once you put in the open hats, we have also added in a pretty nasty snare roll towards the end.
Get the quarterback and I'm the running back. I get the team on the field. Look at my chain, they got bigger. Change up the face, you no builder. I hold it down for the real ones. I'm trying to pocket $1 billion. Get out of line, you gon' feel me when I get.
I hope this kind of helped you get some solid understanding of how to make your own hard-hitting beats. Appreciate you for watching. If you made this far in the video, like I said, make sure you like it so you can save all this advice and watch it back. If you're new, run me up on Instagram and Twitch and TikTok because they're the only 3 things I care about. I'm out. Good luck, later. Bow.